there was a picture I saw that people came for a divorce proceeding and they wore anko. I've also seen during my
those ones are not serious.
during my
They are not even serious at all.
during my court attachment, I remember there was a couple that came in and they were so civil, like they wore like chinos kind of trouser, very
They
good
dressed to
shirts.
match.
Maybe not on purpose, and they were so civil. They came, they were talking to themselves before the wedding. Sorry, before the court proceedings, and they came, they sat down, very civil and everything like that. So sometimes some people still love themselves, but you'll be surprised at the thing that is making them to separate. They just say that we are no more compatible, or maybe this person cannot, because there's sometimes being in a home with someone that you think doesn't see you, or doesn't value you.
All right. Yeah, so there was this story. There was this story I heard. I heard the story actually of a man that takes it upon himself to violate his wife. Violation in terms of what do you call it?
Physical
Domestic
interaction.
violence. Okay. He beats her. He talks her down. He talks trash to her. And all that. And after a while, the woman borrows some sense and she checks out. Then the guy is now like on a rampage. He's running everywhere, trying to find the woman to get her back home. This is a twist, right?
Trying to find the woman. That's the wife?
Yes,
to get the wife back home.
To ask her to come back home. Like, What would you say to men that have used their hands to push their wives out? Like,
several reasons can make anybody leave, and like some people will say, maybe someone who is a flag can take a lot of things, and then after a while the person just disappears and leaves, or somebody's talking down, somebody's cheating. Someone doesn't see you, doesn't respect you. All those things can make people leave. But somebody will tell you that marriage is for better, for worse. And so whatever you go in, you see, you take it. But now we're seeing that some people are not actually taking it. Like when it gets to a point, like people leave. And of course, like you mentioned earlier, it's not like people leave and they have like a better life after they leave, because there's still that struggle.
Some do,
trying to find themselves. Some find themselves, and some are not able to, because of the time and all the things that have happened and the healing process that needs to occur. So for me, I think that I've spoken to some women that had their husbands cheat and were not so nice to them verbally, but they decided to stay. And after some years, I would say maybe the immaturity of the man, or somehow there was a deliverance and he changed. I've also seen some people that maybe they saw their husband cheat and they still decided to stay for reasons best known to them. And some people, they have those physical abuse and they just leave. Some leave to come back and some don't come back again. I don't know. I think and most people don't have that discussion with themselves before marriage to say, what is it that I can take and what can I not take?
But can we really know the things that we can take?
I don't know, because because most times when you're going into marriage, all you see is just the nice time. Although those like weeks into the marriage, those weeks before the wedding day, most times there are some times that people might have those issues and those final clashes before the wedding day, and all that might make some people to even think, okay, should I still go ahead? Should I not go ahead? And all. However, like when you finally go in, you begin to see different things, and then you ask yourself, okay, do I want to go back? Some people don't even go back, not because they want to be there, but they stay, some because of children. Some they stay because they've already put in so much time already into it and they cannot leave, while some don't even know where they will go to. because maybe they don't have like a way to fend for themselves when they leave. So there are several things that make people to still remain in a marriage. But of course, the best reason to be in a marriage is because both of you love yourselves and you're having a nice time.
This concept of love, like I always say, and I think more men believe that love is actually more of a decision than the emotions behind it.
Okay.
It's not to say that the emotions are not important, but if you say you love someone, for me, if I say I love you of course I do, I love you, and even if crazy things are happening, I don't think we've really had I don't even pray for us to have anything crazy to that crazy point where somebody's now, we have a healthy marriage to the glory of God, at least to a very large extent, and I just feel that there are no guarantees out there. That's in my own opinion. If you're in an abusive relationship, an abusive marriage, a talk-down marriage, a marriage where your life is already at stake, you've seen all the signs that, man, this person could kill you or something, you don't necessarily have to start thinking twice, in cases like that. It's always just better for you to see how you can. If you can't fix it, then I would say just take a chill pill. I wouldn't say just run off, but you can separate. You can separate. That would give you, moments to be able to analyze everything that is going on within that particular. There was a story that I listened to on a podcast yesterday. It had to do with a man and his wife. They have 2 daughters. It happened in the US. And the man and the wife, they were going through a divorce process. The woman even went online, saying that, she's going to be getting divorced. The people have tips on how she's going to be living her life and all of those things. That, the husband has been so supportive of the process. Even his family, they were just they were just thanking God the way the man was taking the entire thing. But this same man, maybe he must have just been quiet, but he must have been hurting deeply. And I'm sure that maybe he had created his life to revolve around the woman. And much of the time, when maybe a partner is now thinking okay, even if this divorce goes through, it's going to favor this woman more than it will favor me. Or I have more to lose out, because it's possible that the man may have seen her as more like an alter ego, somebody that is at his core. But of course, they are divorcing. A lot of issues may have led to that after having 2 children. And one day, just before the entire divorce process is concluded, the guy goes to the house. He gets a gun. He makes sure he shoots the woman. He makes sure that the woman is dead. He picks that same gun. He kills himself. So it's almost a case of, I can't have you, right?
And then
no one else can.
Yeah, there
are but I find that, quite disturbing, because I always would say, and I'm not saying that from a single man perspective, or better yet, I'm saying that for those who are single, maybe you're dating somebody and the person's no, I don't want. There's so much supply in the world. Do you understand? Both on the male and on the female side. There's so much supply in a world of billions of people. If one person is okay, I can't do this anymore, you can check out someone else. You can even leave your country, go to another country, you'll still find love. There is nothing in this world that says, even Africans go to Japan now, for example, they marry Japanese. Even societies that are so homogeneous, like the Korean society, the Japanese society, some Korean societies where everything has to match up and all that. You now see that because of globalization and all of those things, people are now, the blend is just out there. So you just have to really go where you are wanted at the end of the day,
Yeah, but when you talked about finding your way back home,
yeah,
I think that can be applicable to either the man or the woman. And most times when people leave and they want to come back, it's the memories that keeps drawing them back, and a willing spouse that is ready to try again and all that. But I think that you're even going far in thinking abuse, this one, beating, lying, cheating and all. I think that there are still some other simple things that even make some other people to even... There's some people that. There was a picture I saw that people came for a divorce proceeding,
Yeah.
and they wore anko. I've also seen during my
Those ones are not serious.
during my
They are not even serious at all.
during my court attachment, I
Yeah.
remember there was a couple that came in, and they were so civil. Like they wore like chinos kind of trouser, very
They
good
dress to
shirts.
match.
Maybe not on purpose, and they were so civil.
Wow.
They came, they were talking to themselves before the wedding. Sorry, before the court proceedings, and they came, they sat down, very civil and everything like that. So sometimes some people still love themselves, but you'll be surprised at the thing that is making them to separate. They just say that we are no more compatible, or maybe this person cannot, because there's sometimes being in a home with someone that you think doesn't see you.
Wow.
Or doesn't value you.
All right. That just kind of came out somehow. The God that sees me, I'll continue.
Being in a family, being in
Yeah.
a home with somebody like that, you cannot really go and complain that, oh, my husband is beating me. He's not beating you. He's not abusing you. He's not anything. But
He's absent.
But you just know that he's not seeing you.
He's absent.
You are not thriving even emotionally with this person.
He's absent.
And probably you've spoken about it, but this person cannot even still understand what you're saying. So just for the video not to be too long, but I'm just saying that some people still get to the edge of marriage, not even because of some of these high sounding things that we talk about, but simple things as just seeing me or hearing my voice.
I will just end with this. Some of the like from a guy's perspective, I feel some of the things that can make people absent. Some people may just be naturally absent-minded people. Other persons, they could be at the verge of infidelity. At the verge, like mentally now. They've not slept with anybody, but in their minds, like there may be something that is causing some level of dissatisfaction in their spouse, and they are trying to see, okay, can I balance it on this other end? You know, so that kind of a man is already feeble in his ways. He can't choose. He's not here. He's not there. He's just absent. You know, so I just feel that communication is still very key. Most marriages like that, if you check, they are not communicating. They are not talking to one another. They are not expressing one another. And another thing also that really causes lack of communication in a lot of marriages is there could just be one partner that makes it so difficult for the other person to communicate. And like I always say, like it's just like something happens 5 years ago. You're having a gist maybe with your husband. Your husband now refers to that thing that took place 7 years back. And you're like, oh my God, I thought this thing was already buried under. Then maybe that happens, it keeps happening. Before you know, man, the other person has already shut down.
Because he's repeating the same thing.
Yes.
So if he heard you 5 years ago, why did he have to repeat it 4 years ago, repeat it 3 years ago, repeat it 2 years ago, repeat it at that moment? So that's why you now have to do the chain of command.
Because people like for me now, for example, if I've wronged you and I apologize to you, and maybe we now have like an argument or something,
and you now do the same thing again.
You now remind me, this is what you, and I'm like, for God's sake, now I thought we've passed this.
Mine is if someone does something and then they don't do it again, there's no need to bring it up. But if the person is repeating exactly the same thing and you're seeing the same pattern, when you see the same pattern, what do you do? That's a video for another day.
Talk to your partner in love.
In love.
If you see a pattern, that's not the time to carry a hammer to kill an ant or something. Talk to your partner in love. If it's for a man that, okay, maybe his ego is like a thing for him, you know, you have to really understand when and the how to talk to that person so that you can get the best out of that person. So everyone out there, for you guys that are still sitting on the fence, married men, married women, you're on the fence, you're thinking, should you drop this? Should you go for this? Like, just ask God for guidance, but by and large...
You should ask God for guidance, whether you should drop your wife and go for another woman.
Now. Ask God for guidance. 1, 2, find your way back home.
Should you ask God anything when it comes to that kind of... If you are single and you are thinking of, should I pick Chioma or I should pick Joy, whatever, that is you asking God for guidance. When you are married, you are now falling emotionally attached to another woman and you're asking God for guidance. What kind of guidance are you expecting?
The guidance could be, oh Lord,
show me mercy.
Show me the way to go about going back home.
Don't be lost in the first place.
Show me the way. Father, show me the way. I want to go back home. Let me know the part. Let me know the words to use. Let me know the gestures.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
All of those things.
I agree.
Yeah,
Thank
Anyways.
You.